Hey guys, welcome. JB here, excited here with me. A couple minutes, we'll get started here. Just seeing how everybody's doing today. Just a quick live to see what's up. If you don't mind, as always, hitting that thumbs up button, and then also let me know where you're at in the comments. Lets me know that I have some people here, and obviously it takes a little bit. We probably should reset this timer because I went live, and for some reason the YouTube algorithm doesn't hit that well lately with this, and I may go back to just recorded videos if you're watching this later, just because of the YouTube algorithm gets a little challenging sometimes. But we'll see if we have anybody today. Anybody shows up and says hello, that'd be great. Again, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up, let me know where you're at, and we'll see if we get that algorithm working for us today. No special lighting today. I'm just doing the regular right straight from the computer here. As we get into some discussions on the e-ink or tech devices. Again, if we get some, if YouTube actually allows us to be seen today. It's a really interesting dynamic, this whole YouTube thing that I'm learning day by day on how to utilize it, from the algorithm to the way that you connect and the content you produce. It's a pretty crazy thing. So we're just sitting here waiting. It doesn't look like we got anybody on. A little unusual. Let me just see. I think the YouTube thing hit. There we go. Here we go. Now we're getting a few people on. Again, typically takes a little while with YouTube. Again, if you're just joining me, it's JB doing Tech Talk Thursday. Here we go. Now people are coming. I guess the email's hitting. The algorithm's hitting. Such an interesting thing, this whole YouTube thing. But we'll see. We're going to do it for a little while. Hey, there you are. Good to see you. If you don't mind telling me where you're from, that'd be fantastic. And we can have any discussions. Any questions you have, just please put them in the comments. If you're watching this later, as always, thanks for watching and supporting the channel. Really kind of a weird, unusual dynamic, this whole YouTube thing, and the way that it works, and how you get it going and how it goes live. Typically, it takes a while before people start seeing it. And we get rolling with it. But it's great to have you guys. It's great to see you here. I'm going to go ahead and click off the timer now that we're starting to get a few people in, and we're ready to roll to get going here. So anyways, let's get going. I'm clearing all my notifications here on my desktop so we can talk about it. From India, we got India. I'm from Indiana. So Indiana, we're close enough, right? Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Glad to see everybody here from coming in Colorado. Great to see you as always. And again, interesting time. I didn't really put this up on Facebook. I've been really busy today with my own world. As you can see, I've only put up one video this week. And part of that is life just takes over, and it just gets hard to do all this every day. But that's why we have all these devices to keep us organized and keep us going and keep us rolling. Got some lint on my microphone today. That's interesting. Let's clean that off. So it's great. But it's great to have you. Does anybody got any questions as we get rolling? I did see that Papyr might have had some type of rollout earlier, which was interesting. I have not updated my Papyr, like I said, because I've been kind of busy with other things. But just wanted to see if anybody... guys, anything they want to talk about today? Anything special you want to ask? Any questions? It is interesting. The color ink device is coming out. It looks like we're moving into color a lot faster this year than I thought. It'll be interesting to see if Remarkable 2 comes in with color or not. Enrique, good to see you. Good to see you. And it's going to be interesting to see what devices come in color and see how things really, what developments are going to happen with the tech over the next year or two as we move into this whole new kind of tech world, right, of things that are happening. CES didn't have a lot of really new stuff, but there was a few things that were out there. But it's great. If you got any questions, ask. Like I said, lately, the algorithm on YouTube has not been hitting these lives like they used to. So it's been kind of weird. You got your Supernova A5X. That's fantastic. So what do you think, Enrique, on the writing style? What do you think on, what does it feel like to you? If you don't mind putting in the comments what you think, because either love it or hate it. To me, I feel it's really clean, and I kind of like to know your thoughts. Let's see, JB, are there any nibs which are a bit rubbery? I would say the Samsung S7 tabs. Are you which device are you looking for? Are you looking for the Onyx or the Remarkable? If you're looking for that device, I would say the Samsung S7 Lite. is the one that people are saying that would be a little more rubbery or a little bit of a different feel, which a lot of people like? That's a great question, though. But it's cool. The A5X, I think, has that little bit of detail to it. It's I don't know. It's just got something more detailed to it than other devices. When you open it up, it just, I don't know. The feeling is good. It just feels, I put a Word document there, but it feels like just clean. And I can't explain that. It just feels really clean. Really good. Hello, Philly here. Wondering if the RM2 updated their PDF reader landscape rotation in the PDF. I have not gotten any word on that. I know they did an update. I have not. My Remarkable 2 has not been updated for the latest update. So I have not gotten that. I know some people are wanting the reader, but we're trying to get there. Hey, there's Quirk Logic in the house. Good to see you here. We were just talking about you. As far as, I guess there was an update. Somebody posted in Tech Talk JB of a minor one. I have not updated my device or even looked at it, so I haven't had a chance to see. It's been a crazy week this week. But yeah, it's it's a good device. I think it's good. It's got a different feel to it. That's the thing. But the Samsung would be a nib that I would be looking at if you're looking for one of the other devices. When would these devices become cheap for the masses? I don't know if you're ever going to get that cheap because it's such a niche. We've talked about the market size before, that we're talking, $4.5 billion, I believe, or I don't even think that. I think it's $450 million, somewhere in that range is, I think, what somebody had said before. So it's not a huge, gigantic market, even though I think it's moving forward. I think Remarkable really brought awareness through their ad campaigns, which I think they did a great job with. And then other companies like Quirk Logic, who does Aquila and does Papyr, came on board. Supernote, which is doing the A5X. These are not the biggest companies that are trying to produce quality products and give customer support. And that's one thing cool about it. When will RADA add split screen to the Supernote A6X? That's a good question. I don't know when split screen's coming. I think it's one of those things. It's funny because Quirk Logic is here. When we originally talked to Quirk Logic and I got my Papyr originally, they didn't even realize how important split screen was for a lot of us users in the way that we use it day to day. And for me, the split screen has just been tremendous. And I don't know when it's coming, but it'll be interesting to see that. So I'm really enjoying it. I have the Supernote Heart of Metal pin with the ceramic nib, and I like it. It's smooth and clean. That's where I'm at. I think it does feel real smooth and clean. And I get it. It's not 100% paper-like, and thought it would be more picky, but I really like it. Yeah, the Supernote's got a different feel than any of them, for sure. It's a weird one. And Quirk Logic on the paper says it was a silent release. There is a companion release to the web app that hopefully will come out today. Okay, cool. The announcement will come out. Okay, that's awesome. It's good to know. And it was a silent release, but of course, people in Tech Talk, our people, that are here, man, I tell you, they're smartest viewers on YouTube. They really catch that stuff before anybody. Pretty crazy. The ESR screen protector, I think that's the one Voya was talking about, right? Was he talking about that today? I haven't had a chance to watch his video. Again, guys, I apologize. This week, one video, I have been super busy. I had a training all weekend this weekend, and then Monday and Tuesday, I was just wore out. And so I'm trying to get back on track. And I'm also trying to decide, which direction to take the channel. I know I talk about that every week, but it's so hard. Thank you. It's so hard to do YouTube and really figure out what you're going to do with it to continue to grow. I look at Voya, who does an amazing job at My Deep Guide, and he's growing, but he's producing tremendous amounts of videos, a lot of work. And, he's at 16,000 subscribers, which is great. It's nothing to shake a stick at. I think we're at coming up on 13,000 subscribers. Nothing wrong with that. It's been great. Everybody's been awesome. We're growing. But at the end of the day, for me to put that type of effort, I've got to really figure out a way to generate the revenue to justify the time. And that's what I'm running into, or I just got to do it for fun, right? So that's the thing. He gave it #1 among others he tried. That's cool. I'll hit up Voya on Facebook. I talk to Voya once in a while. We chat, and I'll talk to him about that. I want to watch his video because I haven't had a chance to check it out. On my Onyx products, I do have the paper feel, and I do like it. I still am using the paper device mostly every day. And then I'm using the Supernote A5X because they sent me one over to use for notes right now, just come standard note taking. And the other devices I'm not using much. In fact, I'm going to sell my Samsung or give it away. I was thinking about doing a membership here because they gave me membership and then give devices away there. And I'm just trying to figure out how to do that to make sense of it. The problem is it's not the subscriber base, which they're awesome. You guys are the best. It's just the algorithm. Like right now we have 15 people viewing, and that's great. I love it that there's 15 people viewing. But in the scope of things in my job with what I do, it just doesn't justify the time commitment, right? That's the issue. And so it's trying to figure out and how to balance this whole thing as we grow is really critical. Why I, live my life and do the things that I'm doing, and generate the revenue and things that I'm doing with the other stuff, right? So it's hard. I mean, I'm really shocked at how difficult it is to kind of get your footing and figure out what you're going to do with this. Again, the reason that I do it is I enjoy it. I'm enjoying putting this content out there and reviewing the devices and buying the devices. Gives me a reason to spend the money. But it's definitely a zero revenue game right now. Everything goes right back into the channel. The channel does about 1,000 in AdWords, and then I have to buy devices, which just eats that up pretty quickly. And it's just one of those things. I have other primary income generators that make a lot more money than that in my coaching and my speaking and my membership sites. And I'm just, is this something that I want to continue to do? And I don't know if the lives are going to work, because one of the problems is I'm not going to send emails out and tell everybody I'm live and go on Facebook, tell everybody live. I just don't have the time to do that. And the algorithm just doesn't work that well. So I think it's back to kind of the pre-recorded stuff works because I get so many more views and people can watch it at their leisure. And I think the algorithm works a little bit better than the live stuff. I don't know, it's weird. When I first started doing lives, we'd have a couple hundred people here. But every live, it's just been going down and down and down. And it's kind of why I've been moving away from them a little bit, which I'm sure everybody understands. We have to do things that are going to generate the maximum revenue for us and use our time as wisely as possible. I think this is why a lot of people don't do lives, because it's just the algorithm isn't helping us get it out there. And so that's part of the problem. Michael says, this is a great question. Michael said, came across your videos of the remarkable on my YouTube recommendations. Have been binging on your videos all week. Oh, nice. Michael, thank you so much. So cool. I'm glad you're appreciating them, enjoying them. That's great. Great to have you. And thanks for the subscription and showing up here. It's awesome to have you. And another Michael says, Rada thought split screen was a disadvantage and said that you can't just go to the next page and don't have to split screen to see things. Yeah. And so, yeah, well, the thing is, like, the way I use my papers off right now, the difference is, no, I use my split screen for my planner. And I think, I think this is where they're missing the boat. And I'm just reconnecting to the network here is because I didn't have it in split screen. I was just taking some notes here, but I use it for my note taking. And I have my, I don't have it up right now, but my planner's on my left side. So let me go into my library. I'll just pull it up, because I'm working here and get it done now. And let's see, I think it's this one. Yep. And let's go to, and so I have my planner on the left side, right? So I'm just going to go to my planner page here 1 second. And so my planner's on the left and my notes are on the right? So I need that split screen. That's why it works for me. So it works, so it's great. Hey, Heidi, thanks. You are the best for the super chat. That's so cool. I don't even know what that is. I know you just donated $5, so it's awesome. I love you too, but it's great. But this is how I use my split screen. And I think that's where you're missing out. It's not about just flipping to the next page. It's like seeing your notes and your plan all in one page. I think that's where Papyr really did a great job with split screen. And I will, Michael. I think we'll get that to Rada, because I think Papyr, again, and their engineers are watching this. They're always watching what we're doing, which has been fantastic, especially on the, the pre-recorded videos where we get so many comments. I think they saw that too. Like, it's like, who would ever use split screen? But once you have it, you use it all the time. And the Onyx products have it, and you could do it on the Lumi, but I use the Papyr. And that is the reason. You want your planner in there. So that's the thing I think is really important. Hey, the broccoli industry. I love that. That's a cool name. Do you think the prices will start to go down for future devices now that the competition is way up? That's a couple people have asked that question, and it is really interesting. Sure seems like there's a lot of movement in the ink space, right? Supernotes came in, Papyrs come in. We have Remarkable 2, which really drove the market. Onyx is really big in the market. And now we have like the big me who's coming out with color e-ink. Like I've never seen that. I don't even know where that manufacturer is out of China. So yeah, I would assume at some point, but again, I don't think the market is big enough. That's what's unusual. I think most people end up getting an iPad. Like we are those weird people that are out there, not weird, I mean in a good sense, right? That are looking for a device that's kind of distraction free, that we can take our notes and have a paper-like experience. And then you have a lot of people out there that are looking for an iPad or tablet experience. And I think that's the challenge. Is the market big enough so that we can get that working? Hey, Brian, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. And that's the real challenge. And we've had a couple people talk about the devices coming down in price. It's just supply and demand and manufacturing capability. If we can get more manufacturing capability, then prices will come down. Thank you so much, Doctor. I appreciate that too. I appreciate you. And I think we're going to be more strategic with these lives because of the YouTube algorithm. I got to figure out how I can get notifications out that that we're live so we can answer questions so people know. And I don't even know how YouTube's notifying people, but it's not doing a great job. And the reason I know that is I'm getting a lot of messages after the fact saying, JB, we missed your live. It didn't get us notified. I couldn't find it, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll figure it out. Just give me a little time as I get back to the, rocking and rolling the pre-recorded videos. And if you can just let me know in the comments, as always, any questions you have, and then I can just do a video about it. And then we'll figure out the lives and maybe just, announce it ahead of time. We're going to be here at this time. Try to do what we can to get that algorithm to fire so everybody knows. So we get everybody in here. And I'm happy being here with the group that's here. I think it's fantastic, right? And I mean, it's awesome. I mean, Heidi sent $5 this way. That's awesome. I can get a cup of coffee on Heidi, and I really appreciate you for that. And I appreciate everybody. And that's why I'm doing this, is I appreciate everybody that has come to the channel. And I try to do my best. I try to support other YouTubers like Voya who are out there. I don't know much about Good e-Reader, guys. I really don't. I try to support the companies as much as possible. Quirk Logic is here all the time. They're watching the videos. We want to support them as much as possible. And that's what I'm trying to do. You should get sponsored in the future with these manufacturers. Maybe that's a good idea. I mean, we could look at some of that to get things going. Okay, Enrique said he got a push notification on my phone. Okay, that's good. Okay, great. I'm glad you got that. Something happened to come in on my phone. I usually miss the notifications. Okay, cool. Well, it's good to know. Like, that's the thing. We've got to figure out a way that we can get notifications out. And maybe I need to just get an email list, and I will email everybody and say, a half an hour before that I'm going live or something. We're going to have to figure something out and work it through. Sam says, it seems like the Remarkable hype is dying down. What do you think is contributing to that? Sam, I think it's a couple things. The Remarkable hype is dying down. One is, it's like a best-selling movie. Like everybody's talking about, we got this movie coming out. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. You go, and it's just not what you thought it was. And I think that's the problem. I think people are looking for an iPad experience with the Remarkable when it's a paper replacement. The other thing I think that's happening is you have a lot of competition, and people are discovering that competition. They're not doing a lot of marketing. For example, I can tell you, Papyr, Quirk Logic, they weren't doing a lot of marketing. Somebody told me about it. I had it on the show. We had thousands of views, right? And sold a bunch of them. But that was people from Remarkable, because my channel was built on the Remarkable too. So I think a couple things are happening. I think one, the competition is catching up. I think there's other devices that do a lot of things that people are looking for, like the Onyx Note Air. I think that took a lot of market share. The Super Note A5X is taking a lot of market share. I think the Remarkable 2 shipping issues hurt them a lot, and their customer service hasn't been on top of it. But the good thing about them is they're still marketing like crazy. So I know they're still selling a ton of units, but I think that's why it's dying down, is because people are discovering. I mean, the thing is, look, let's just call it what it is. Let's just call it what it is, right? Hey, Larry's in town. Good to see you. Let's call it what it is. Anybody that's looking at these devices is intelligent, okay? This isn't like somebody goes and buys an iPhone and says, oh, I want the iPhone with all this capabilities just so I can be cool, right? I mean, people that are into e-ink are very intelligent people. So as soon as they discover one device, the next thing they're going to do is they're going to go find other devices. They're going to say, well, what can work within my workflow? And I think that's what you're seeing. And I think a lot of people that have the cognitive function or executive function of simplicity and minimalism, in their brain love the Remarkable 2. And it's an amazing device. I think people that have a little more complexity and like detail and like a lot of moving parts and like fast movement and love to get in there and tinker, like an engineer, for example, would be a good person with this type of thinking. They love the Onyx because they can tinker with it. They can add this, they can add that. And I think the Supernote's right in the middle of those, right? So I think you're seeing a little die down of the Remarkable because the hype of it really got a lot of people into the device industry. And then they started looking at other devices. And now you have a lot of people, like somebody just posted in our Facebook group, and I'll put that link down below if you want to join our Facebook group, which is cool, about the Papyr update, but also that they're using the Papyr for their kind of their industrial work. And then they're using a Supernote A6X for their note taking. And that's kind of like what I do, because I like to leave the Papyr set up with my planner and my notes in it so I can just keep stuff there. And then I use like quick notes and stuff, the other devices, whether it's Remarkable 2, A5X, or an Onyx product. So for me, the Papyr turned out to be the one that I'm consistently using, but I'm always looking to improve. I got the Samsung Galaxy S Tab Plus. I haven't used it at all. I just don't like the keyboard, so I'm going to sell it on eBay. I use the iPad primarily, right? But I think that's a great question of what's happening in the industry. Is Remarkable has pushed a lot of people into it. But the issue is that there's a lot of very smart people like yourself that are into this, that are like, wow, well, what are my options now? Is this just a device? And they start seeing, wow, there's all these other options that they didn't know of before. And that's really what happens. So it's great. Andres, hey, good to see you. Is there a way to use the keyboard on the Remarkable 2? Not that I know of. These other devices you can that allow it, the Onyx product specifically. And this new Big Me, I don't know if I'm going to buy the Big Me thing, guys. The colors don't look that great to me. I put a video up. It's got like, I don't know, 2,500 views. And I was asking people, should I pay $900 for this thing? That's expensive for a color ink device. I think I'm going to wait for the next one unless everybody says, buy it, buy it, buy it. Then I may grab it. But that's where I'm at right now. From Cyprus, great. Good to see you. I know I just saw you for the first time. Great to have you on here. Hector got a notification on his phone. That's great. Larry, I said hello. Sam said, yes, it's complicated, but the short answer is yes. Yeah, there is some hacking going on. A lot of people are talking about hacking the Remarkable 2 and doing some, because it is Linux. A lot of hacking going on, actually. And I just haven't hacked mine yet. Again, there's only so many hours in a day. I don't have a lot of extra time because this is not my primary business. So, you know, I golf 4 or 5 times a week, just in full disclosure. That's kind of my hobby. And then I do my CoachCast every single day. And I do my coaching programs. And I got a team that I manage, right? That we got to do things. So a lot of my time goes there and it cuts into my YouTube time. And it just is what it is. So I'm just full disclosure. That's what's going on with me and why sometimes I don't get videos up as much as I'd like to. I'm trying to set up the studio to be faster and easier, but I'm also trying to figure out topics that are going to work for everybody, you know? So that's great what's going on. Bigger market if note devices also hit more of the e-reader market like the Boox Air. I would agree with that, Michael. And that's one of the things Quirk Logic is working on is a new reader for the Papyr device. I know it's on their roadmap. And I think I agree with you. If they start going after the Kindle and the Oasis, I think it's going to be interesting. Or the Kindle and the one that I have, which is the Kobo Forma. It could be really an interesting world as they get into that. And as we've always said, what if Amazon decides to play in this sandbox? That would be really, really interesting if Amazon starts to really go after this. If you're not familiar with Linux, there you go. Sam says, I would not advise getting the Remarkable for use with a keyboard. Yeah, the people that are hacking it are pretty intelligent Linux users, and that's what they're doing. Well, more or less, I've seen people using, there's some great answers in here. Michael, yes, I also got the push notification after 1 p.m. Okay, good. Well, it's great that YouTube's sending some notifications out. At least I know they're going out. Adam says, I also want to say thank you for your PDF review of the RM1. Oh, great. A few months ago, very helpful. Are there any major differences between the viewers on the RM1 and 2 deciding between the Boox Air and the RM2? That's a great question. No, the RM1 and the RM2 are running the same software. So a lot of people got mad at me when I first started doing RM2 videos before it came out, and I was talking about setting it up. But I knew the software was going to be exactly the same. So it's just a hardware change. It's just faster and sleeker and better, the hardware. But the software is exactly the same. So you're not going to get much difference out of there. The Boox Note Air does some really unique things, and that front light actually adds to the attractiveness of the device. With that being said, I just don't use it much. I use more the Papyr because of my day-to-day planning, schedule, that type of things. And then the Supernote A5X because they sent me one for demo, and I'm using that. They actually put my name on it, which was cool. JB, I don't know if you can see that. That was nice of them. Pretty cool. But yeah, I don't think you're going to get much difference between the 1 and 2 when it comes to the reader. Sorry about the map shining back there, guys. I'm just using standard light today. I didn't light up anything today. I'm not sure because even if I managed to do it, I don't know if I'd want to do that. Yeah, I agree. That's kind of where I'm at with hacking the Remarkable. I haven't even hacked the Remarkable 1. I just haven't done it. And again, depends on you. And if you want to do that, I'm pretty busy to do that stuff, which is kind of hard. Matthew says, although the customization is a point of interest from the community and there's a lot of hacking for features on devices like Remarkable 2, you think the manufacturer will take recommendations this way? I got to tell you, the Remarkable company has been very weird as far as that goes. They have not, we have active companies like Supernote and QuirkLogic. They are actively watching. They're actually connected to the things that users are doing. Supernote more through Reddit, QuirkLogic more through YouTube. And I can tell you that for a fact because I see their senior management involved in the things that are going on. Remarkable doesn't seem to care, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It just doesn't seem like they communicate as well as other companies. And so I don't know their product pathway. And as far as I've seen from their blog and things that I've read, they strictly want to be a paper replacement. They do not want to compete in these other areas by allowing excessive programming and that stuff. Now, that may change at any point, right? I don't know how many returns they're getting. Again, I know a lot of people went to the Boox Note Air and people returned them. I don't said they were going to return it. I don't know what the dynamic is. I can tell you if the software from the QuirkLogic paper group was on their hardware, it would blow it. It'd just be amazing. That would be amazing because I love the ability to contribute and work together on that device. So the only thing is some people love the Remarkable 2. I have some friends here at the golf course that know I'm into e-ink and have watched my videos, right, and are not into e-ink. Like, they're not like us, into this stuff and watching videos and reviewing it. And they bought it. 2 people that I know personally that are good friends of mine have bought it and absolutely love it. So it's a really interesting device, and I think there are people buying it. And I think the one thing is if somebody would come out with a OneNote, real good application, that would be killer because a lot of people are looking for that. But that's a great question. Heidi, oh, your dad is getting a Supernote today. You got to let me know how that goes. Leave a comment later. I'm anxious to see what he thinks about that. I knew he was getting one. You told me that. Francois, hello from Quebec, Canada. Good to see you. Got the RM2 and the A5X this week. Still testing the differences. Ooh, good one. I want to know what you think. I'll keep one. I can't pick one winner right now, but more productive on the A5X, but the RM2 is just magical. I think that's the general consensus, right? The other devices can do so much, but then you get your hands on this Remarkable 2 and it just feels so good. Great question. Yes, Michael says the Supernote A6X is in between the Boox Air and the RM2. Yeah, and I think the A5X is right there too, Michael. Great comment. No, JB. No bigamy right now. Okay, yeah, I'm staying away from it. The latest video I did, I'm not going to spend $1,000 yet. If I sell a bunch of devices this week, I've got it on my list to put some stuff on eBay tonight. If I can get some devices sold, maybe I'll buy that thing. Hey, Stephen from Belgium, great to see you. I like my RM2. Only thing I'd like to see is improved is e-reading functionality. Yeah, Stephen, I hope they do that. I think that's what a lot of people would like to see. If they really put a good reader on there or an improved reader, I think it would really make a difference. And those are software things. I think they've been so stuck in production and issues with delivery that they haven't really started getting a roadmap for the future. I know there was a big rumor about the paid subscription thing, right? That was crazy a few months ago. But nobody really knows. They're like Apple. They're really secretive, so we don't know much. Oh, you said the A5X. That's cool. Yeah, so it's really weird to see what it is. Sam says, Steve, that's interesting. It was going, the hacking. Okay, Sam, great. There's some videos on it. Yep. Check on that. Thanks. Lazy man. Hey, you made it. But I know you go to bed now, so it's good to see you. Larry, my Remarkable 2 exploded. What? No way. Thousands of cracks, completely dysfunctional. Sorry, but this device is fragile and cheap. Wow, Larry, I didn't know that happened. I'm sorry to hear about that. That's crazy. I wonder what they'll do. Exploded. That's crazy. Hey, Michael, good to see you. Glad to have you here. Okay, here's IT Quirk Logic. I love them always coming in. Now, this is a manufacturer, guys, actually on the chat, which is amazing. They're saying Microsoft just released their new API specs for integration. It now requires Android X SDK, so I think a lot of vendors need to do some Android upgrading first. Okay, that's cool. Before Direct OneNote. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, because I don't think anybody's really dealing with that, but I think it could be big for Business Clash. Enrique says, have to run off to teach a Zoom class. Good for you, Enrique. Go do it. First class where my plans and notes are from the A5X. Ah, nice. Let me know how it goes. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, if anything, you get some energy from me, I hope. And, we're going to figure this thing out as I drop the Supernote A5X stylus. We're going to figure out this YouTube thing, right? We're going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out a way that I can provide good energy for you, have fun, and it still makes sense. I get it. It's a patient game. Dealing with a third party like YouTube, figuring out how to get the algorithm working. I've got to figure out if we're going to do lives, how I can get notifications to everybody. And I have a feeling I might have to try to get emails or something. I may do a membership for like $6 a month or something cheap. If I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a way that it works for everybody, right? So it just makes it work. And maybe that's what I'm going to do. I don't know. I'm totally up in the air with this thing. It's not my primary business. I do know I want to do something with it. I want to provide some energy for you guys. We've got the smartest people. We have a great community right now, and I want to start to expand it. But I also got to make sure that when I'm doing something like this, YouTube gets to the community, right? That's part of the problem. It's, we got 13,000 subscribers and 36 on here. So I know, and a lot of those have come in the last 6 months, there are no more people who would jump on. They just don't know I'm here. And so we'll try to figure that out as we work this thing. And if you're watching the recording, if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. If you think a membership is a good idea, YouTube has approved me for that. I could do it like MKHBD is doing like $6 a month. I don't know. I'm open, and then we can try to figure something out. Okay. Let me get some more good stuff. I'm pretty unimpressed with the Remarkable software. I found a pretty obvious bug with how they handle one file format. No response from them yet. Yeah, Sam, there are some issues with the software. I think they've done some with the hardware, and I think maybe it'll evolve over the next couple months. And when it evolves, we should see some pretty cool stuff coming from them. Hopefully, we'll see. I mean, that's all we can do is wait and see because they don't talk much, so we don't know. Larry says, I worked with RM1 for years, beaten and misused it. 100 hours, not a scratch. RM2 is dead after 12 hours of use. That's unfortunate. I hate to hear that. It feels hard, but I haven't dropped it or did a drop test. But it definitely does feel a little fragile with that glass, for sure. Seems like the others also forgot the like button. We don't know how it helps, but I think it helps somehow. So everyone, please don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah, I think that's part of it. Like what I got to do with the community, and I appreciate you always, you've been here from the beginning, is I think I've got to figure out a way to get all of that working. And some people on YouTube do a better job of it. They're like, hey, hit the like button, leave a comment. That helps. But we got to figure out how to get this algorithm working, when I'm going to go live, because it doesn't make sense that nobody's knowing about it, and then people watch the recording. So we'll figure that out. Omar says, good to see you today. Thank you. So I finally got the best combination, RM1 Plus Galaxy Fold. So after trying Remarkable 1, do you recommend upgrading the RM2? I'm worried about the writing experience on the RM2, writing on glass. Only if you want to upgrade the hardware, because the software is the same. I think the Remarkable 1 is still a fine device. I mean, it's very similar to the form factor of the A5X that just came out. I mean, it's very similar. So if you feel like spending the extra money because you want the hardware, I would do it. But if you're working with the Remarkable 1 and it's fine, I wouldn't change it. There's no reason to, unless they give us something else beside the hardware. And you could see from a few people, Larry broke his already, and he had the RM1 forever. So I think the community is kind of giving you some hints there, and I think it'll help you, make a decision and maybe save you some money, right? I don't think you really have to upgrade. It's only if you really, really want that thing. They have magnets attached for a screw that might have cracked it. Yeah, Larry says something's cracked it. That sucks, Larry. I hate to hear that. Supernote wins on durability. Drop test. Yep. Did you drop your A5X and hurt it? No, Michael, I know. They do drop tests. So, yeah, I know the Remarkable 1's pretty solid, too. But, yeah, this thing is like a tank. You can drop it. It's not going to break. That's the A5X. It's not going to break. I like the paper, too. Some people said that this is a little too thin, but I like the thinness of it. It's obviously it's a Sony platform, but it's still a good device. It works well, and I like the feeling of it. I think tiered would be the most attractive. Oh, thanks, Don. You're talking about a program like $1, $5, $10. Yeah, maybe we'll try a membership. I don't know. Some people have said don't do it. I don't want to be that person, but I need to figure out a way that we can, I don't know, get something working a little bit here that's exciting. What's the best reader I can get? I like the Kobo Forma. That is just a strictly reader. If you're looking for a reader and note taker, right now it has to be the Onyx products, the Onyx Boox Note Air, the Onyx Lumi if you need big PDFs. Right now, currently, if you're looking for just a reader, I like the Kobo, or obviously you can't go wrong with Kindles, but I do like the Kobo Forma because I can use the library and get books on it, and I tend to use that more. But if you do want the note-taking function, I think Onyx right now at this time is the best one, which is great. Lazy says, my Note Air dropped last week from around, 60 centimeters on a wooden floor and slide it on the screen, gladly still alive. Cool. Yeah, it's a scary moment, dropping anything. What do you think about your user interface the RM2 has? It takes me a lot of time to organize notes, moving individual pages, moving between notebooks. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. No, you're not, Steven. You're doing it right. There's a hack out that people are using that really like it. Yeah, hopefully we're going to have some software updates on the RM2 that are real, not just a font edition or a calligraphy pen, but something that really is some functionality that can help. But no, you're not the only one. We all have some issues with that. Sevan, hey, Belgium, great to see you again. Thanks so much. The Serene Record does a good job, but I'm afraid to look underneath. Anytime you drop anything, I'm looking for that. Any tips on the most effective way to organize files and folders on e-ink, both for work and for personal life? Use numbers. That's what I would do, like the 01, 02, 03. I think that's the most specific tip I would give you, and organize with numbers so you can kind of get them organized in the right way. Otherwise, you kind of get it's about the way you think and the way you work, how you nest your folders. Some people like everything on one thing. I like a clean desktop with one folder and then nested inside, where other people like it all over. Again, this has to do a lot with cognitive function and executive function and the way our brain works. So understanding how your brain works, if you look at something and there's a bunch of stuff and you feel overwhelmed, that's not going to be good for you. If you have one folder and then you go into the nest, that's how some people like it if you're a minimalist. So starting to understand that more is important. I'm going to have a special guest on, and we're going to start talking about that more here in the near future, by the way, on some of that, because I think it has to do with buying the right e-ink device, right? If you're very minimalist thinking, the Remarkable 2 works great. But if you're an engineer and you've got this brain that's got all this stuff over there, Alan's right here talking about it, talking about Alan, you like to tinker, you like to build, you like to do things. Those Onyx products really work better for you and the way your brain is. Alan says the Poke 3 is a great reader, but not a note taker. Is the Kobo Forma okay for PDFs? I don't have PDFs on it, and it's kind of small. So I would say no. I think it would work, but it's too small. I mean, it's the size of a book. It's in the other room. But we can work that out for sure. Do you think Amazon will come up with a color e-ink reader or note-taking one? I don't know. I think that's the thing. I think we're watching the market, and the market size is not big. Let's see what some of these sales happen. Again, a lot of this market came from Remarkable. Many of us wouldn't even have known about these devices if the Remarkable didn't come out, right? So I think it's such a new market, and you can even see it with my YouTube channel. It's such a new market. I mean, I have friends that see it and go, what is that thing? Like, they don't understand. They've never seen it. And unless you've been on Remarkable's page or got a Facebook ad, these are like gimmick devices, right? So right now, they're starting to gain traction in the world. And I think there's a lot of players like QuirkLogic that's a professional one. And there's a lot of people that are, they're companies that are looking at more professional markets. QuirkLogic has their Quilla, I have it in the other studio, but they are ones that are looking for the business market. And I think that's what happens. Once you see that proliferation, you'll start seeing more and more people use it. That's why I think OneNote is one of the key aspects of things, because that's so proliferated into the business marketplace. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. I don't think Amazon's going to play yet. I don't think the market's big enough yet. Great, you know it. Maybe in landscape mode, but it is tiny. It's tiny. But it's awesome, guys. Well, I'm going to go grab some lunch. I thank you for being here. Again, I'm going to maybe throw up the membership thing. We'll do it this week and just test it and see if it works. I'm going to try to do a better job of getting the notifications out. We will figure this thing out. I appreciate the support. I'm going to continue to produce content, create videos, buy devices, do some different stuff. I'm going to do some crazy content, guys. I'm going to try some things that are outside the box to see if it fits. I'm going to do some productivity tips. We're starting to do some social media. So I'm doing it. I don't know, right? So it's one of those things. But I can tell you one thing I do know. Every single person that comes here, I appreciate you. It's the way that I've always done all my businesses. I will always put as much effort into it as I can. I just have to justify the time. And I'm here to help you. And I love to hear from you. I love to see the comments. I haven't been able to answer them this week. I try to answer almost every single comment on this channel. And I always say it's a community. I'm going to continue to do that. But I really appreciate your support. And if anything, take my energy and use it today to make your day a little bit better or your life a little bit better. That's the most important thing for me. Okay? So go have a great one. You guys rock. Lots of love to you. Go have a fantastic evening, rest of the day or morning, wherever you're at in the world. And if you're watching on the recording, thanks for watching and thank you for the support. Okay? We'll see you in the next one.